Hey everyone, Tech1421 here yet again with another Minecraft Hunger Games gameplay commentary, and today I have a really cool Spy gameplay for everyone. Spy is one of those kits where it's a very good team-oriented kit. It's also pretty good if you're using it by yourself, but it's more of a team-oriented kit. You can tell how far away people are as well as you can tell what kit they are, so it definitely works really well with a team. If you're running it, if one person in your team is running it, then you have a great chance to win. It's kind of like a cultivator kind of thing, where it's pretty much just for the team and it helps the team out, but it's not really any, like, I guess, firepower behind it or anything like that. But in this one, I wanted to talk about a cool story that I had of the biggest fish that I've ever caught personally. I think it's a really cool story, so I hope everyone enjoys it. But I just wanted to kind of lead with what this gameplay is about. And in the previous episode of this, I actually asked everyone what the biggest fish they've ever caught was, and that kind of leads into this. So of course, I wanted to talk about the biggest fish I've ever caught. So without further ado, let's get started. And I want to begin with the fact that we had a summer house in Florida. I'll talk about that a little bit. And that's kind of, I did catch this fish in the Atlantic Ocean, and we were at our summer house at the time. And so my family, we had to sell the summer house about 2 years ago, I believe it is, at this point. But, it was a great house, and we had some great times there. Amp actually came out and visited for a week or so at one point. I think it was during my junior year in high school. He came out and visited for the summer for about a week or so. So that was really fun. I also had some other friends at different times visit. And no matter who visited, it was normally a really fun time, and everyone enjoyed it. So great memories were shared at that house. It's really unfortunate we had to sell it, but it's whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do, especially with the economy these days. So, anyways, so we had this house. A little bit about the house as well. It was right on what's it called? I don't even know the name for it. It's basically a canal, I guess is the word. It's on a little canal, but you can take that canal out to the Atlantic Ocean. It's like a 5-minute boat ride, so it's really easy to go fishing as well as to go out and, like, I guess, scuba dive if you're into that, or snorkel. We did a lot of snorkel trips, but we mainly use it for, like, fishing a lot. But the boat was a multi-purpose boat. We had it docked at our house, and except when we weren't staying there, we had it at like a harbor or something. Anyways, it was a great boat. It was good for what we were doing. My dad and I went out fishing a lot with it. Normally, the best time to fish is during the morning, so that's usually what we did. I guess the early bird catches the worm, but I guess the early fisherman catches the fish kind of thing. I don't know what the saying is for fishing, but you know what I mean. Excuse me. But anyways, so back to this story. I guess I can start the story, and I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I realize that not everyone is a fisherman, but you can kind of understand the story even if you're not a fisherman. So anyways, there's this one term for a type of fishing that's called trolling. And it's not what you think. It's not like internet, trolling, like stuff that people do, like in the Hunger Games, like trolling kind of thing. It's a term for a type of fishing. So we were going trolling. That's normally what we did. We either did just drop down the reels and fish, let the boat sit, or we did trolling. And what trolling is you basically go like 5 miles per hour. The boat goes about 5 miles per hour, and then you have some lines in the water. Normally you try to get as many as possible, but you have to be careful not to get them tangled up. And a lot of people have like outriggers. That's those like funny looking things on the side of the boat that you might see from other people. Other boats have that, but we didn't have that. So normally we try to have like 4 lines in the water were kind of our maximum, because it wasn't a huge boat, but it could definitely fit 4 reels in the water at once. And so that's just what we normally did. And this particular trip, we ended up going at nighttime, which we didn't really do too much. But we noticed that this one boat was trying to chum other fish, which is another fishing term. Which basically what you do when you chum is you get like I guess guts and stuff. It's pretty nasty. Like you wouldn't want to like smell any of that or look at any of that kind of stuff. But that's what fish like, is like chum and stuff like that. So it's really nasty, but you know, it catches fish. So what can you do, right? It works. So you know. So anyways, so we went by this one boat that appeared to be chumming for fish, and we just kind of we went by for a quick swoop, and immediately we got a catch. We got a bite on one of the reels, and it just went absolutely crazy. And unfortunately, the line snapped. So we decided to go back for another run, and you can see there in the gameplay, Amp actually unfortunately died. So it's just me against these 4 players that are left. I guess there's 4 including myself. So I'm kind of outmatched here. But anyways, back to the story. So we go by for another swoop, and we immediately, as we go by, we get another I guess bite, and the line goes crazy again, and actually the fish this time actually stays hooked on the line. So we let it run for a little bit. You have to be careful when fishing that the fish doesn't completely come off the rig like the other fish did. It happens quite frequently, so you have to be careful. But we let it run a little bit. We let the fish get a little tired, and then we went after it, we didn't go after it. I started reeling in the fish. And like I got about 2 minutes in, got it pretty close to the boat, it felt like, and then it just dove right down again. And we were in about, I want to say it was like 100 to 200. It was in that range depth wise, but it wasn't just going down into the deep sea. It was also going like you know, back to like the coast, I guess you can say. Or it wasn't just going. It was going like, I guess it's horizontal. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't just going vertical; it was going horizontal as well. So I guess you can probably understand that. But anyways, so I was trying to reel in this fish as best as I could, and it was definitely really hard because the fish was fighting for its life, obviously. So it was putting up a really good fight, and I was, you know, trying my best to reel it in. And you know, I'm not a weakling. I work out and stuff, so I'm not. I'm not like the strongest person. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm not the weakest person either. So I could definitely, you know, reel in a fish. And this thing was absolutely going crazy. And we eventually, it took about 45 minutes total, but we finally got this thing to really close to the boat. And it's the way our rigs are set up is that we have it so that there's a little bit of a hook on the end, about 15 feet or so away from the end of the actual rig itself, and then you can just snap on a whatever kind of bait you're using. So we got it up to the boat, and it was just this beautiful blue color that you can see the outline of the fish. And it looked to be, from first sight, it looked to be some kind of like shark or something, which we kind of got scared about because it was like this huge outline of something. And thankfully, it wasn't a shark because that would have been hard to deal with. But we got it close to the boat, and we noticed it was like a tuna. So it had like a really big like body mass to it, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like massive. It was pretty small lengthwise, but it was really fat. And we got it up to the boat, and my dad took the reel took the line and started bringing it up to the boat. And instantly, when we got, somehow the rig snapped in half right then when he was holding it. So you can just see my dad. He had this 15-foot line, which was the actual bait rig, and he was just holding it above the boat. And this 50-pound tuna was just absolutely going crazy in the water. And somehow, some way, by pure adrenaline, he ended up picking it up and bringing it onto the boat. And he said later that, you know, he tried to pick up like a 50-pound weight, and he couldn't even do, like, he could, like, the way that he was holding the rig above his head, and he couldn't hold it for more than like 10 seconds. So it was just pure adrenaline, and it was amazing how we got it onto the boat. Just amazing how we ended up getting that fish. You know, I think everyone that goes fishing has their one like fishing story that's pretty outstanding, and this one's mine. So we got that 50-pound tuna onto the boat, and took a picture of it, took it to the taxidermy, and put it up on the wall. And we actually gave the fish itself to a homeless family that was by the by the port that we were docking that we went into. So I thought that was a nice gesture. You know, that can easily feed a family for a week. So that homeless family definitely ate well for that time that they had the fish. So anyways, that's pretty much it. That's my story. The biggest fish I ever caught, 50-pound tuna. I don't actually know the official name of the tuna. I think it's like something like a blue. I think it's a bluefin tuna. If you want to go look that up, but you know, not the best tuna prize wise. You know, I guess, but it's definitely, you know, worth getting. It was a really good fight that it put up, and I really enjoyed it. So that's that. Unfortunately, right here, I do end up getting taken out. But I thought it was a pretty good gameplay with Spy. You know, I was an underdog going to that fight, and I held my own, just like the fish, I guess you can say. But hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I'll be back for more very shortly. Hope you're having a great holidays with the family and whatnot, and I will see everyone later. Peace.